I'm so happy not to be in charge of her.
I hope it works. It looks like it works. We have a little delay.
Pleasure to meet you. I hope we don't have to see each other very often. Okay? Yes, sir. All right. Hey, Matt. How are you?
I had a blast. I think it's set back.
Good to see you. You bet.
Shake hands. Okay, nice to meet you.
Jill Wilhoy, our middle school principal. Hi, Jill.
Nice to meet you.
I'll catch up with you because it's.
I know the superintendent.
No, yeah.
Good seeing you.
Bill and I went to law school together.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm so
Like, I already know one of
your
Yeah.
parents.
It's been a long, been 20 years ago. Yeah.
A long time. I guess you probably know Bob Ross too.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Bob in 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Is he still around here?
He's here, yeah.
Okay.
I was texting with him this week, but I haven't actually seen him.
You guys are in good company. We're good. Okay, yeah, I'll holler at you, Bill. Good seeing you, buddy. Thanks, Dr. Chris.
Thank you. Turn around, because this is that reference right here.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
I think so. I don't know. I think so. A whole bunch of them can dance tonight.
Dance?
Those are for
All right, it's 6:01. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Thank you for being here tonight. We usually do have everyone just introduce themselves that are here with us tonight so we know who's attending, the adults that are here. So we can start behind Mr. Green's there. If you could just say your name for us, please.
Chris Monsey. I'm Bill Hammond with the Nickel Law Group, and I'm your board's attorney. And I work with Joe, the superintendent, in the past. So I'm just happy to be here to chance to meet you guys and say hi first. You said hopefully you won't have to see me very often.
I invited Bill to join us so that he could meet you, you could meet him, and he'd be familiar with what we do. And see what we're doing next.
Great.
Excellent.
Nice to meet you, Bill.
Okay. Hi, I'm Janine Knapp, and I'm an occupational therapist here at Oakdale. Great. Thank you all for being here. Okay, we'll start off with a roll call, which Todd Corbin is here and myself, and so we can establish quorum. And we need to first approve this agenda for tonight.
I move to approve tonight's agenda.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and now we have Girl Scout troop. They're going to come, and if you guys can go ahead and head this way, we'll have you introduce yourselves and start us with the Pledge of Allegiance. You can go ahead and come here and introduce yourselves.
I can't hear. Is it on?
Okay, and you guys can lead us and stand up, flag the flag for the minute. Okay, girls. Pledge allegiance.
A few things going on. Micah, you may be addressing some things with athletics that I'll just touch on, that we did go back and look at our COVID plans. And based on feedback from some parents and staff, we tweaked those a little bit so that we could safely offer some precautions as well as the opportunity for some competitions as well.
Sorry about that.
How's that?
Thanks, Andy. The second note I wanted to bring to your attention is our virtual learning academy. We currently have a number of families enrolled online that are still Oakdale students, but still are participating in our Learn Anywhere Oklahoma program. And we are surveying them again to see if they wish to re-up their second semester. Some may wish to come back, but now they're fulfilling the commitment by the end of the semester. But we also plan to reopen that for families that maybe want to do that second semester. So we have information going out about that. Mrs. Brown and I will communicate that out. She will set up some virtual Zoom open house type things to bring people if they're interested before they make a final decision. But we'd like to get that all enrolled and solidified before the Christmas break. So that's coming up, and we'll see more information coming about that. We're continuing our free curbside meal pickup to the end of the school year for siblings under 18, the students that attend Oakdale. And if anyone's interested, they contact Michelle Fetters and they can sign up. And then I believe they pick up 2 meals one day and 3 meals another day. And so if they're interested, they can come and they'll go to those curbside. A short COVID update. I know this is something that we tend to not get off our minds very much. Even when I wake up at night thinking about this. But the most recent numbers for as of 5:01 this afternoon, we have 5 positive cases at the school. We have 3 students and 2 staff. One of those goes off isolation tomorrow. So what we realized today when I talked to the nurses that this is kind of a revolving door. We might have 2 on, 1 comes off, maybe have another call. So it's usually hovers around 2 or 3. This is, I think, the most we've had at one particular time, if I recall correctly. Our exposure quarantine is at 53, so that's 50 students and 3 staff. And then we have 9 folks, 8 students and 1 staff member that just for other reasons. It could be flu-like, they're just not feeling well, or just out of abundance of caution, they feel like they need to stay home. So those are today's numbers. I want to bring those to your attention to. Also, that our first Rocket Roundup flyer was mailed and delivered to all of the patrons in all the rooftops in our district. And that arrived right after fall break. And I have extras of those if anyone wants to have some of those. I have a few in my office also. The online version is available on our website as well. So we have 2 versions of the flyer, and then we have a PDF version for the website. And speaking of websites, our school website has received a facelift, and we've cleaned it up a little bit, and hopefully made it a little slightly more user-friendly and able to find things with a clean new look. Also, because of our recent ice storm, I've recalculated the hours and days where we are right now, and if nothing else were to occur where we had to cancel school, we are 4.5 hours short of the 1080 rule. So I surveyed the teachers, and like most elections in the world today, it's about 50-50. 51-49. It's very, but it looks as if no final decision has been made on that. I think we'll wait till after we get back in January to see what happens with the weather, because it may not be over. That's what we have to do. So the teachers at this point in time preferred the President's Day on February 15th or April Day on April 16th to use those as instructional days. They preferred that over extending the school year after May 20th. So they voted that way so far. And then, just as a reminder to the public, also the period for filing for school board seat number 2 is December 7th through 9th. And then the election is February 9th if 2 or more people file. Otherwise, the general election will be on April 6th. That's it. Mr. France?
Mine's real short, so I'll give you a hard copy if you want to look at it. So, on operations standpoint, I wanted to Andy, if you could go to the second slide. I think there were several big trees that they did some cutting on, so those were very appreciated. Next slide. There we go. There's some pictures right there. Another family that Mr. Corbin told me about was the Spain family. They not only helped with Mr. Corbin, they did some extra help as well. So we greatly appreciate them. And also Mr. Greg Nicholas, he donated some new traffic flow platforms and cones, a couple areas on campus where we replaced some of those. So a big thank you to those people for donating time and materials, which is money. Next slide, Andy. So since the storm, we have had some issues that are still not resolved. Our fire alarm system has several non-emergency troubles that are not being cleared. So we're going to have our company come out and do that. Some of those devices are on order. And then there were some minor leaks. I don't think that was because of the ice storm, but we did find that we had a couple of minor leaks. And after our first water issue, I thought it would be best to move on to that the rest of the meeting. So we have a company coming out to patch up on a couple areas. And then the next slide has to do with athletics, and I think Dr. Pierce mentioned what we have done and why in regards to that. So that is all I have.
Any questions for Mr.
No, I have two comments. The first comment is, since we have wanted to put together some kind of report to the entire fleet of every single taxpayer, not just families that go to school here. That has been an effort ongoing, since I've been on the board, that's 6 years, that's a long time. And you accomplished that, and the feedback that I have received personally from folks that I know that had kids here in the past that are Memorial or Jones or OCS or wherever, for them to have some connection back to the school, they can see where their tax dollar goes is appreciative and keeping them informed as to what's going on. So thank you. That tremendous. A plus right there. And Mr. Krantz, and Dr. Pierce, as far as moving into Orange 2 and the established plan, plans need flexibility, no matter where you are, education, corporate America, church, wherever, for you all to have flexibility when we went to Orange 2 to adjust, smartly adjust our athletic planning program, our extracurricular program. My hat's off to you there, because some people just said, no, Oakdale School District is proving that we can manage and we can still deliver a quality product to our students, and I thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Ms. Wilwood, you and Ms. Foster couldn't be here tonight, but do you have anything for the elementary and middle school principals?
Yes, I have a little slideshow I put together. It's admin update.
You wanna?
What? Oh, little microphone. Thank you.
Maybe.
Is it on? Okay, so Jenna couldn't be here tonight, but we worked together on the slideshow. This was our quote for the week on announcements, and ours was thankfulness. Here, I'm going to turn it off and just say it loud. When asked if my cup is half full or half empty, my only response is, I'm thankful I have a cup. And that's kind of how we feel about school right now. We're just thankful to be in school, whether it's half full or half empty. This is our Veterans Day video that we've had to put together. We were very sad not to be able to do a Veterans Day program, because that's one of our favorites. But here here is the slideshow we put together. It should have sound.
It should have sound.
The preparers have a little saying they did. You can skip to the next, but you can fast forward if it's not going to have sound, because there's just a little bit.
I don't know why the sound's not.
No, it started over. Just kind of fast forward through it. Oh. That was very fast. Well, each grade level put together a little something, and we put it together on a slideshow. We showed it to the children in class on Veterans Day, and I think everybody appreciated the effort in it.
They look great.
Yeah, the elementary did a great job.
I wanted to also interject that Mrs. Brown and her virtual students also put together individually, and then collectively put back together a flag and color and put all back together. They drove by and heard their piece she put together. You can't see them the virtual students.
The virtual students had their own slide. We're in Orange Level 2 protocols. We're still working on, like our theme was at the beginning of this year, building this airplane in the air, because as far as I know, no one has ever done this in the middle school setting before. So we are adjusting as we go. We're adjusting the workload. We're adjusting instruction time and days as needed, and even adjusting cohorts as needed. We're really thinking about the whole child, their education, and their social emotional needs. So we're trying to adjust that and still think about the virus and who we would need to quarantine. Next slide. Encouragement week. Last week we decided on our second week of Orange Level 2 cohorts that we needed an encouragement week. We called it our week of positivity, but then we thought that sounded kind of funky with COVID positive, but we had the biggest turnout we've ever had in a dress-up week. I gave prizes because I thought, no, everybody's not going to want to do it. Marlene can tell you that I spent a pretty penny on my prizes because I had to give them to so many cohorts had 100% participation in pre-K through 8th grade. And mainly middle school had 100% participation in all dress-up days. Coach Hall's class had 100% the entire week who did their dress-up. So I think it was fun for the kids to have something exciting to look forward to. And the teachers all dressed up too. So we had a fun week of encouragement. Semester tests. We decided in middle school we're suspending semester tests for this semester. Teachers are encouraged to give chapter and unit tests, but we're not giving a cumulative test in December. We did not want to put that stressor on our students. The state extended the window for state testing, and so they extended it by 2 weeks earlier and 1 week later. So it is now April 6th through May 24th. 37th annual Christmas adoption shopping is going to look a little different this year. We aren't going to be able to go to Walmart and CC's like we normally do, but we're still going to do it. We're sponsoring 8 less fortunate children for Christmas, and we're going to send a letter to the community tomorrow asking for some donations for that. 8th graders will go shopping online on Amazon, and we will have the gift shipped to the school. And so that starts with 8th grade tomorrow. We're still excited about it. We just have to do things a little bit differently sometimes in this era. And that's all we have.
Jill?
Thank you.
motion to approve?
I move to approve the consent agenda items.
Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion has passed. Okay, number 6, we have our business action items. And 6.1 is a discussion, consideration, and possible vote upon calling for an election to be submitted to the voters to elect the school board member for post number 2 as required by and meeting all requirements of the state of Oklahoma. Do we have any discussion?
No, I move to call for the election for post number 2.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so I should second that. Sorry about that. Yeah, it is different. Okay, 6.2, discussion, consideration, and possible vote upon board action to approve the annual election resolution for 2021.
I move to approve the annual election resolution for 2021.
Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
We will need signatures on that with Morgan before we leave the city, so we'll apply that.
Okay. All right, next we have 6.3, discussion, consideration, and possible action taken upon establish regular school board meeting dates, time, and place for 2021. Is there any discussion on that?
It's the same format that it's been, it's just the dates for the entire year. We have their files by December 15th.
No, I move to approve our board of education dates for 2021.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we're on 6.2, 6.4, discussion, consideration, and possible action taken upon policy BED, Board of Education meeting, public participation.
Yes. We had reviewed this a month or 2 ago, and you had asked me to go back to kind of tweak it a little bit, some input that you had, and this is what you see before you. The main highlights would be that we do currently have a board policy about that. There are some things about that that need to be fixed. So this takes care of that. What this does is allow that a portion of the regular business meetings would have an item for public participation and sign up 15 minutes before the meeting to speak toward an agenda item, 3-minute time limit. If there's a group of people, they could combine efforts, they could have a spokesperson for a longer period of time. There are provisions here of things that they could not discuss, so like suspension of the students and things like that. They're outlined in there. And then also just the typical language that admin staff and the board do not respond to questions or comments from the public, but they could request a response from the meeting back to them to answer questions and things like that. So it's very standard. It's shortened considerably over what we had in the past.
The only thing that I did not see on there that we have been doing a good job on was taking a written attendance for each one of these meetings. I know we've introduced people, but to be able to come in and have a sign in.
We can still do that. But what this allows us that we have a form that they would complete. They actually want to have the microphone speak to you.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But we can still do something. Yes, that's right.
Any other discussion?
No, I move to approve the policy BED.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, 6.5, discussion, consideration, and possible action taken upon policy FEF, transfers of children of employees.
Yes, if you recall previously, I believe it was maybe it's the residency policy or something. There were several things that had a lot of things kind of tucked inside of it. This takes that particular topic and pulls it out and creates a separate standalone policy. And what this does is allow for district employees to have the added benefit to have their child attend the school of which they're employed, and that they would apply for a transfer. They would be allowed to enroll only if we had space available, and that they are the parent or legal guardian of the student, if they're a current employee, and then we would create a transfer and bring it to the board as usual on transfers. And then that would be annually reviewed, an annual requirement, and because that would be subject to their employment annually. So once they want to continue as an employee, then we rehire them, then that would still continue that added benefit. And then for whatever reason that they would maybe not continue to be employed, or if they were to resign or leave during the year, the student to be able to finish that current year within the following year, they will not have that transfer unless they went through the regular open transfer or an emergency transfer process. It's still available to anybody, but this particular is for employees that have it.
I move to approve policy F.
Really quickly, I did want to ask, did we include part-time employees?
I did not ask for employees.
Okay.
So it would be part-time.
Oh, part-time. Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry.
I move to approve policy F.
Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, 6.6, discussion, consideration, and possible action taken upon policy GF, problem-solving processes and complaint resolution.
This is a new policy, and I believe I sent you a draft of that individually prior to this, that basically this is just a way to outline that we do recognize the rights of parents and patrons to be able to express concerns, complaints, issues, and questions. However, we do wish to have a policy that we would know that would be best handled and resolved at the closest to the origin of the problem, and not just circumvent people who go around that, but actually go to the source and then allow district staff to have every opportunity to respond to those complaints or questions prior to going to the principal, prior to going to the superintendent. And then at the bottom, you can see there's levels. Level 1 would be to take the complaint or concern directly to the original source of the concern, and if that is resolved at that spot, that's great. That's what we want. If it is, in the event the problem is not resolved at level 1, then they can take that to level 2, which would be the supervisor or principal, and then they would go through the process, present findings and solutions that are still not satisfactory. They can bring it to me as superintendent and go back on. So that's just clarifies a little bit, but going to the source and working through the process and not just going around directly to the board member or to the superintendent, but actually let the people involved at the closest level to the issue to solve the issue.
Great. Any discussion?
No.
Questions? All right. Do I hear a
I
motion?
move to approve policy GF.
Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, 6.7, discussion, consideration, and possible action taken upon policy GK, use of district facilities.
Yes, we brought this to you once before, and with some tweaks, we went back and cleaned it up even further, shortened it considerably. Basically, still outlines that we do believe that organizations should have the benefit of using the school, parents, community members, things like that. There's a provision here for emergency shelter as well, and additional language there about that. There are a couple of prohibited uses. There's standard language, and then having the kind of a process, the procedure of scheduling facilities, having a master schedule, looking at those facility use requests through me, probably actually go through my designee, and to be able to facilitate those things. We would have a form created that people would apply for that. There's some timeframes in there as well. Page 2, liability insurance allows for the superintendent or designee to look at the amounts designated for certain users. Typically, that would be aligned to the Oklahoma Political Subdivision Tort Claims Act, and there's some numbers in that law. Most schools usually have about $1 million called liability insurance that they just ask them that the school's named in that policy, and you get a copy of it filed. But we also realize that there's often some community use things going on, just with neighborhood units, things that they may not have a $1 million liability policy, so we would work through those things, and this would allow for those provisions as well. The use of the building and equipment facilities, that we would want a district employee personnel to open and close the facility, that a district representative employee would need to be have oversight during the events, and then we could also assess some fees for the supervision oversight, extra thing if they can clean up after themselves and things like that. Outdoor facilities, the tracks and things like that would still be available after hours on weekends as usual. And then we have two classifications of organizations, and it really is these two things give priority to our school sanctioned organizations, or PTC, our school foundation, and then I've also included employees that may be sponsoring an activity as well. The last page has the third category, which would be civic and service use. That's all of ours. And then the last category is category 4, which actually is all the others. And there's language in there that would allow a district employee that if they wish to conduct a camp or something like that was for profit for themselves, that they could be allowed to use the facility for a cost-neutral provision, so that the district is not supplementing a profit-making event on their part by providing electricity, because that would be very cost-neutral, so that we kind of stay out of the weeds in that if they're doing something like that. But the facility would be, I think, as an employee, would be available to them, it would be cost-neutral for us.
Okay. Any discussion or questions? And, motion?
Yeah, I move to approve,
6.7.
what's my policy?
GK.
Yes, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, number 7, we have our discussion items. First round review of edits and or suggested revisions of Board of Education policy book. Section D is prepared by OSSBA Legal Services.
Yes, I'm just going section by section through the OSSBA review of board policies. We have cleared sections A, B, and C. It's now time to start digging into section D, which is a little bit lengthy. It's a little dry in spots. So we will not go through those policy by policy this evening, so thank you very much. But we will, I want to bring it to your attention so that you will have time, so that maybe at the next board meeting or the January meeting, start getting some of these approved. There's a couple in here that I need to do work on, particularly about sick leave, making sure our current policy and what that it really aligns. And then there's some new language about the Family Medical Leave Act. I want to be sure it's included based on the current situation, globally, and that it's reflected in the policy as well. Everything else is just very straight policy. It's very right anyways, but we have to have those things. So I just want you to have it at your disposal, be able to look through. I have scanned it for you, emailed it to you, so that I have made notes in the margins. So actually, Julie Miller's done the previous work. I have gone through, made notes now. I would like your feedback before we start tweaking any further, so that it's based upon your wishes.
Okay. Any discussion?
No, I read through some of it.
Yeah, I did this
And I
one.
did, it looked like a lot of, oatmeal plumbing, that,
Yeah, there's a lot of boilerplate language that needs to be customized to us.
no, I don't have any further discussion.
Okay. Then we don't have to do a vote on that one, so we'll go on to executive session. And we need to vote to convene in executive session.
Yeah, I move to move into executive session for the purpose of discussing the evaluation of the superintendent.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we want to meet in here, excuse guests, or do we want to meet elsewhere?
Yeah, we probably need to go into another room, the people say.
That's true. So,
Nice meeting you.
We're done with the projector. Are you doing your next show?
Say again?
You have to do that time.
No, he discussed it, so.
Just hit in stream in stream and then also down here. Stop streaming. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, just stop streaming and then YouTube and stream. Should be good.
Glad you guys came.
I don't know if that
We'll see you on
sound
the
will
6th.
work on.
That's our next meeting. And again, Chelsea Green will not be going to Winter Hill. It's on the schedule.
It works better.
So it's just not going to happen. There's too much.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well,
Thanks, Brian.
I have all good things to say. Good.
So
That's good.
we're going to just focus on knocking out these merit items and then we'll kind of reassess what we got. Okay. Thanks for coming. Later. Yeah, we will do that on the 6th, because I'll be there, and then we can set in a small group, and we'll just knock it out all together, and we'll be good to go. I know Mr. Slate started it the last meeting, we'll finish it up. Cool?
Is the meeting going to be here?
It'll be in the annex, so same place that you guys were, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Okay? All right. Okay, great. Well, have a good evening. Have a good Thanksgiving. Megan. Here. Oh, yeah. Did we meet your expectations? Yeah.
I just want to say thank you.
Oh.
Because this is my work experience in such an incredible experience.
Oh, good.
I think I have some concerns, but I mean,
Well, we can always work through your concerns. I mean, that's what we're here for.
it sounds
But
like
there's nothing perfect.
this place is so nice.
It is pretty nice. And I can tell you, if we don't communicate concerns early, then it's just not good for, kind of figure out issues. Believe me, we got a lot of smart people here. We can find middle ground where everybody's, we all have to make exceptions. It's good.
Work outside of your expertise to help the other piece.
I just wanted to thank you. Last year, I was able to come 4 days a week, and we started a program, and I was able to service 215 kids. Pretty big deferred because after 20 years, there's so many kids that aren't on IEPs that fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
And I feel like at Oakdale, we have the means to help those kids. So the kids are now, at my time was cut, but the kids, I am still able to see some of the classes. And we are identifying kids that, they're just, if they don't get something, they could potentially fall through the cracks. And I think that's my biggest concern. And just being able to have those innovative programs to be able to help kids just access their education to its highest potential, especially here, if we have the resources to do so. But the OSF has donated money to this program.
We're lucky. We are lucky. We raised more money than Denver Memorial.
It's amazing.
Think about that.
But anyway.
Think about that. It was a pleasure to meet you. I have to rush in here, or they're gonna Shanghai.
Well, thank you for,
bet.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
You okay? I am at the
Well, there's an executive session right now, so we're listening or just grammar, that's it. They want to hand it over. It's all done. Just wait. So they go home. See you later.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Bye.
Bye, Mr.
Bye.
Michelle, thank you.